Throughout history, humanity believed that the world was flat. That its edges, guarded by dragons and sea serpents, led to the primal abyss. It was a world of superstition, the dark ages of mankind. But in the 15th century, Europe began to believe that the world was a globe which could be navigated. England, France, Holland, Spain, and Portugal sent westward a wave of explorers, colonists, and conquerors. The dragons on their maps remained mere decorations, but the dangers these men faced were very real. They faced storms and starvation, disease and mutiny. And in the end, they found a new world. It was the dawn of discovery. It was an age of exploration. It was the time of the empire builders.
And now we're on the title screen. Welcome to Conquest of the New World. And this is a very old game that I don't really have very fond memories of, but I bought it on GOG because it was on sale, and I just wanted to showcase it because there is some good merits to this game that's worth pointing out. And we'll just create a new game. We'll jump into Conquistador here. Let's be Portugal. We'll journey a new world. Yep, very similar to, you know, Civilization during a new world. Takes a little bit of time to make up the new world. It's that vein of game. Alright, so here's Conquest of the New World. If you're probably seeing visions of, like, Civilization, that's because this game's very much influenced by it, I think, in some ways. And I think what we're going to do is we're just going to drop the sound off for now. There we go. Yes, this is a very old game. There's no sound slider or anything like that. But anyhow, if you're like looking at this and you're like seeing like visions of Civilization, know that this game is, you know, very similar to it, and a lot of the other old, you know, 90s DOS games that came out. Essentially, you're like a explorer in a new world, and you go about, you know, basically trying to conquer it. Let's disembark a scout here. We'll have you explore a little bit. All right, excellent. Let's move my ship up here a little bit. We'll disembark this guy here. You'll explore a little bit. I'll have coast. Let's disembark the other guys, and then we'll just have this ship move around. So, essentially, this is like, you know, an empire building type of game. But I didn't really like it because, unlike Civilization, where like you sort of like, you know, build multiple cities and stuff like that, this takes like a sort of like, you know, you have like, you know, like one or two type of colony type of approach instead of like, you know, multiple cities. And on top of that, it's a whole lot of micromanaging, shall we say. And, you know, it's sort of like got on my nerves eventually, the type of gameplay that was. I don't really think much of my starting position here, but whatever. It's not terrible. Alright, have you explore. So you start off with these like soldiers here and free scouts and a ship, and essentially what you want to do is you want to initially just scout around the terrain for a city settlement, and then after that you want to build up a city. And we'll enter turn. Everyone else will take their turn. Now it's worth knowing I'm playing against AI here, and also by the way you get this newspaper every time you get a turn. So basically you get these little things like Samuel de Champlain, founder of Quebec, was very proud of his colony. His wife, however, was not. When Samuel finally persuaded her to visit Quebec, Madame de Champlain saw poverty of early colonial life and immediately returned to France to join the convent. The 17th century equivalent of a divorce. Anyhow, basically I'm playing against AIs, and it's worth noting that the AIs in this game are brutal. I don't mean like they're just like, a little bit difficult. They will basically destroy you. And that's one of the reasons I really didn't like this game. And it's worth knowing that unlike, say, Civilization, it's not like the CPU, the AI is getting like benefits or anything like bonuses to make them stronger. They're actually brutal and have like the same startup as you do. So they're like really difficult, and they're difficult just by nature. I'll note down here we got a few natives. So yeah, this is a new world. There'll be like Sos and there'll be Patuxet or whatever. These guys can be friendly or hostile to you. So yeah, we're just going to search around with my guys, try and find some place to settle a city. There's no good starting locations just yet, which is a bit of a nuisance, but well. Hopefully I'll find something before my colony ship comes. If you want that, you can read that, all these little stuff you want to. Now, I'll note that you get the sort of like point down summary. It basically tells you how well you're doing. So right now, Portugal dominance, I'm basically winning by point score. The other guys aren't really exploring as much as me. Yep. Okay, so sometimes you get hostile natives, so here's like a hostile settlement. We want to be very careful of that guy. Friendly, neutral, and hostile. You can also attack natives, but you really don't want to attack natives unless they're being hostile to you or something. Now, I'll note that when I actually was buying this game in my youth, I was actually looking for another game called Exploration, which is very similar in concept to this, or similar to like colonization from Sid Meier's. If you feel like that's the game you're basically looking at. The basic gist of this game, like exploration of the new world and stuff, it was something that's really fun back in the day. And there's like nothing around me. Literally nothing. Which is not exactly, ideal. I guess there's natives around me. They're sometimes okay. Go there. I guess this is okay for city building, this flat land up here, but preferably I want some forests or rivers. Looks like Spain's jumped ahead. They probably found something. Alright, you've explored as much as you can, so... Okay, I have to get a little bit closer and past this village here. I'll have to bring these guys down past this hostile village and then we can do stuff. Essentially, this is like a hostile tribe, and they'll eventually start sending out raiding parties against me, but... No, there's a river and forest and stuff down there. It's a little bit far away, but it's stuff I can make use of if I want to. Let's have you march up here. Alright, so the colony ship has basically come. The colony ship carries off your settlers and stuff initially. So we'll load this guy in here for now. So this is basically where I've got like the settler unit and a bit more like, military units to make use of. We're going to sail them down in this direction, I think. Because there's no good land around here to build. Oops. By the way, they'll take like a sort of like, go in known areas to approach these ships sometimes, and that's what they're doing right now. These guys will just keep exploring down this neck of the woods. And Spain is kicking ass, but anyhow. Stuff over here. Some interesting factoids of history, You explore. You explore. Go over here. This is an interesting game nonetheless, to say the least. Alright, let's just disembark everyone here, and my ship, let's have this guy just backtrack us somewhere. Halt, you're just going to keep exploring the strat here. Go up here. Whoops. Sometimes the ships can be kind of stupid in other units in this game with moving, but whatever. They're pretty good most of the time. Alright, so I've basically got all my guys over here now. We're going to have this scout just go this way a little bit. Yeah, this is okay for selling, I think. Let's have... Okay, these are both pre-week leaders, but whatever. You can join this guy here. I'm going to build over here, I think. I wish I had more time to basically find, a suitable place to build like a colony and such, but whatever. This is like, you get a small grace period, you don't get a whole lot of time. This is pretty good for flat land, so not complain too much. Okay, let's disembark my settler here. And we'll have you basically found a colony somewhere. So you basically you get like this sort of like grid if you press Z, by the way. And I'm just going to use this to try and find a suitable place to sort of place a colony here. You basically want to sort of place your colony so that how can I put it? Basically, just like let's go over here for a moment. There's like 4 different rings for colonies, and they basically represent like the 4 different levels that a colony can be at. So you have like the initial ring, the second tier ring, the third tier ring, and then the 4th tier ring. And essentially, you want to sort of maximize your space and stuff like that. I essentially want to have maybe a couple tiles like this, sort of on the river or so. Maybe I'll go down here a little bit. Try and build over here. Now I think it'd be best we just go like this. We'll try and build up here more or less. She's probably fine where she is. Let's just found a colony right there. So basically here we've like found a colony, and from here we basically do our humble beginnings and such. Now I'm basically going to press auto colony here, and essentially what this is going to do, it's just going to like place some buildings randomly for me. I'm not very good with like building placement. That's one of the reasons I didn't really like this game. But essentially this will make the colony like all it builds stuff for me, and it basically puts down some stuff for me to basically get going with. The AI is actually really good at this game, and by doing this, it actually lets the AI like manage stuff for me. So it's gonna basically make buildings and do all the micromanaging for me, shall we say, which is kind of nice. I'll note that with the buildings here, it's basically a place to farm, so we can basically get some food production. We got mill, a few mills actually. We've got a house. We got a metal mine. And I got some extra wood, but whatever. We'll see what it does later with that wood and such. Okay, you can go up here. This guy's basically just going to go follow the coastline. This grays out whenever you don't have any moves to move. And in this game, it's really a whole lot about exploration and such, as well as like diplomacy with like other guys. Right now, I only have like contact with my home country, but there's also the other 5 nations and the high native colony to deal with. You also get taxes from the mother country. They're always fun. Ah, good. So I'll note that you can also have like claims and such. We got a natural alpha field here. So this basically will give like a bonus. And these bonuses depend on like the resource. So this would probably give like a food bonus. So give more food if you were to build a city in this area. Oh, there's a Britain ship. So we're Portugal, there's Britain. So they're nearby somewhat. Now, eventually you can attack other ships, but initially you don't have the capability of doing so. Like if I try to attack this ship, target's not yours, do you wish to sink or capture? Basically, ships must be level 2 or above to attack, and right now we just got level 1 ships, both me and him. So we can't do either thing. There's a Nazca native tribe. Alright, let's just have you do some exploring. Now, normally I wouldn't be taking this guy around to explore with, but we're going to use this guy to basically move around and just try and uncover a little bit of terrain. See if there's any resources around that will benefit my settlement up here. And notice, by the way, it keeps on building each turn. So that's like from the all colony that I put on. I'll note if you want to, you can do it manually, but I'm just not so good. I'm just not very good at this, so I'm letting the computer do it for me. So I don't make a complete ass myself just trying to showcase it. But basically, the computer will put down stuff this all around to basically get your production and such up. Basically, I'll actually like this. I'll take this off for a little bit just so you can see a little bit of like building and such, like what it basically looks like if you do it manually. Have you move up this way? Oh, there's a Spain. Spanish scout. There's Spain around here somewhere. Okay, persistent, you'll cover the shoreline for me. Oh, look at that. There's Britain. So Britain's right there. That's where they basically dropped their colony. And here's mine over here. And France is now in the lead, apparently. Alright, so anyhow, you've encountered a town settled by the colonists from Britain. The initial relationship is neutrality. So now in my deployments, I actually have like a relationship with these guys. And like if I want to, I can do spy missions and like try and like do stuff. So you can do espionage, you can do sabotage. We're not gonna do any of that stuff, but it's there. And then of course you got all the other diplomatic stuff you can do. Well, my settlement doesn't appear to have any like real benefits going on, which is kind of nuisance, but oh well. All right. Well, anyhow, it's now the next turn. So I'll note that with like your stuff, you can basically build buildings manually if you want to, and I'll note that basically if you look at the top there, it'll say like cost-free wood. That's basically how much it costs to build a mill. Now next to it, basically say like your other stuff. So you got like labor plus 20 at 32% production. Basically, it'll tell you how like production will be if you like place it right where I'm putting it right now. So I move this around in like the green area where I can build stuff. You can see like the production will go up and down. So some areas are better for production, some areas are worse. Metal mines, they're also much the same way. You want to build these like you want to build your buildings like based like the type of resources around you. So like a metal mine, you want to build it like closer to mountains or hills and stuff because it'll get like more benefit. Or I guess you want to build it near mountains more or less. And like the mills, you want to build like near forests and stuff. Farms you want to try and build near like rivers and stuff, but I don't really have any good place for it. So the best place is on flat land since I got room for it. And I'll just do all colony again. It'll keep placing stuff for me. All right, and then by the way, you'll see like your relationships go up and down. So we captured Spain's settlement apparently, so they must be over here. Oh, there's Spain right there apparently. So Spain and Britain are right next to each other. Yep, there's Spain. Interesting. But yeah, relations go up and down. And I'll note by the way that because I'm like a colony of like my mother country is like sort of dictating what type of relationship I have with like the other colonies. So right now, like my mother country wants neutrality, so we're gonna have like less less of a relationship with Britain. We'll have hostility with Spain for a little while, and it'll basically change as like my mother country wants us to change it. You have probably served your usefulness. Soldiers aren't really good for exploring, and especially in mountains, they're really, really bad at it. So I might just move them back to Fatma. By the way, you actually have this as too. Either I don't have what you need for trade, or I lack the trade capacity. So I'll note that basically you can also barter stuff with your your friends. This guy's probably got like a dockyard, Britain somewhere, or maybe he doesn't. But anyhow, you can actually barter with like the other guys for like resources, and you can try and play like trade games sometimes where necessary. So this guy, Lord William Britain wanted to do a bit of bartering with me there, but I don't have any like ability basically to trade with him, or I just didn't have anything to trade him with. He wanted to basically have some wood. Okay, so that's the thing. I didn't have any wood because I was doing other stuff in my settlement, so my oil colony basically prevented that from happening. So I'll note that the game designers for this game, one of their intentions for the game was to try and make it. Okay, those are Britain. They tried to make it so that the AI was actually very human-like, and it would like try and trade with you and barter with you and stuff, or it attack you with like a sense the moment of opportunity to attack you. In the mid 1640s in New Amsterdam, later New York, 18 different languages were spoken by the 500 inhabitants. This led to receive the nickname Babel of the New World. Well, that's what you get, I guess, when you have 500 people speaking different languages like that. I'll note by these are like mountains. I'll note that you're basically, as an explorer, you get a point gain wherever you like to basically find stuff. Apparently, someone found like these mountains, so they got claims for the points for those. Kind of like how I got claimed for basically doing this. You get like claims for everything you find. So basically, I got claimed for this. So whoever discovered these have the claims for that. Keep moving down. Looks like I keep building up mills, which is actually something I want to really do. Mills are, I find in this game, they have a sort of like, you know, kind of lopsided in how like it's sort of balanced. They haven't, you have a really big need for mills, so the AI is basically building lots of mills for me. Keep me going. And you'll see this breaking news every so often. This basically tells you what they've basically found. So Lord William has discovered a new river. Viceroy Michael has discovered a new river. So basically to keep finding stuff. So if you go over this way. So there's a river. I bet he just found it. By the way, if you press shift, you can make these guys speed up and slow down and all that. So I press shift and they speed up. So like shift, no shift, shift, no shift. France. So there's France. They built right there. There's a French explorer, or French explorer rather. All different stuff that you can basically find in this game. I'll note by the way, there's no mini-map, so it's kind of annoying sometimes. Circling the globe. It's got those like old DOS game eccentricities. Like, you know, it's not the perfect game. It's got some good ideas, but it could use improvement. But it's a good game nonetheless. You have to give it credit for being a good game. So apparently, Lady Marsha claimed that area over here. All right, so we found France. We're now have neutrality with them. Now, I'll note that there is combat in this game, but that usually comes a whole lot later, or if you have natives near you. Like, let's look at these guys. It's possible that these guys might get raided by like natives because, you know, neutral guys might raid you, so they might attack them. If you built near like the hostile tribe, they'd be attacking you constantly. So, but basically, usually combat. If you build like towards like hostile people, you'll get more combat. But if you don't, then it's going to be like a very tame game for a while, until like a European power or someone decides to come over and conquer you, which they might do if they sense the opportunity. As I sort of say, if you're weak, then they'll come in and attack you because they sense the opportunity and they'll come after you. I didn't really have a good start, and this would actually be probably a game that I'd abandon if I wasn't like, you know, if I was playing seriously, I would have abandoned this game because there's like nothing initially where I started up here. All right, I'll note that you can also upgrade your colonies. I think what we're doing right now in my this basically here, we're sort of like just building up mills and such because we needed the wood, so we were probably placing mills everywhere. And I'll note by the way that I haven't really gotten to all this stuff here, but basically you have like population to manage, and you have like commodities to basically manage, and like it basically tells you how much you're consuming, how much you're producing, lots and lots of stuff. Looks like I found a bit more hostile natives. So there's a Powhatan hostile large tribe. By the way, the tribe size will dictate how many like soldiers are going to be for natives in there. Sometimes they'll have like lots of soldiers, sometimes they'll have very little. Large settlements of hostile natives are not something I want to be messing with. And these guys might be close enough to attack me, perhaps. We'll see. That would have been an awesome place to drop a city, right over here, I think. Well, maybe not. This is kind of a slope. It's very hard to sometimes see the slopes in this game. The shaders aren't exactly great. They work sort of well sometimes, but they aren't the greatest. Okay, we're going to upgrade this soon, I think. Maybe next turn, we'll be able to upgrade that. And another rejection because we don't have the wood. Sorry, no deal. Yeah, so basically my colony is going to basically upgrade itself. So that'll be done. And we're just exploring the French town over here of San Domingo. And for some reason, I'm mapping the boundaries in the map because I guess we've run out of land to explore. So now my ships are just gonna, basically just gonna keep exploring until they run out of stuff to explore. You notice that Britain, they probably sent their ship back to their port because they, like, just decided like they're done exploring. There's nothing else to explore. I keep going. Alright, so now I've got like a level 2 settlement. Basically what this means when you get to level 2, you can actually start upgrading your buildings. And yeah, you can actually do that. You can upgrade these buildings to be like, the next level and such. You can also like basically place buildings a little bit farther out from like your settlements. And now I have like, more room to build out here if I want to. As you can see, I've got the dock there now. Whoops, I didn't actually mean to place that. Let my olive colony keep going for me, and we'll leave it to that for now. Now, I'll note by the way that you do need to eventually get goods for your colony, so you can actually like build like to like the next upgrade. Let's send you this direction, I guess, this guy. There's some medicinal herbs. So France is way over here, other side of the map. Okay, well I think I've gone over like the basics of like the building and stuff. I'll note that this is a lot of what this game's all about, and it's probably the other reason I guess I didn't like this game so much. It's basically a whole lot of like building up, a settlement, but there's not a whole lot of combat or anything like that. It's kind of like a management game, whereas like a a conquest game or stuff like that, which is not something I really liked. So let's just go exit this for now, and let's do a combat demo. We'll jump in here as Fuxa. Let's say we're on a river. Let's give ourselves 20 points. And let's say Fuxa's defending. I'm going to play as the Spanish. And let's give myself 1 artillery, 2 artillery. Now let's give ourselves an extra cavalry. And then we got this guy, the Dutch. Let's give them an artillery piece. Let's give their leader a little bit of extra points and see what happens. Alright, so I'll note by the way that there is sound for this, but since I turned it off, I guess, it's gone. So you'll basically have to see this with sound, without sound. But basically how this works is you're going to have like combat in this game where basically you have like this sort of like 12 square grid, and the objective is either to capture their flag while defending your flag from being captured. So I'm the attacker. I get to go first. So let's just drop this guy here. We'll drop maybe a couple soldiers right there. I'll note by the way that soldiers to take up 2 slots, cavalry and artillery to take up well, basically one infantry takes up 1 slot in a 6 square tile base, and these guys, the artillery and the horsemen, they take up 2 slots each. So basically you have to sort of think about how you're positioning your guys. In general, the infantry are probably stronger than the cavalry, but that's just because they can have more of the guys in like the same square. These guys can also move twice, so I can move a sleigh like this. And apparently I'm playing against myself here. I didn't mean to do that. Let's just retreat for now. It'll also give me a chance to put on a sound so you guys can actually hear something. By the way, when you basically run away like that, the opposing army gets to fire at you, so basically you take some damage. So generally you don't want to retreat. Let's put combat on only. Let's go like this. Fuxa. Sure, why not? Fuxa. Begin. Let's go like that this time. Let's give him an extra infantry. Now you have action music. Sorry if it's a bit loud, but that's basically how the music is in this game. Alright, let's move these guys like this. So basically the AI and I will have a little scarf against each other. The AI is fairly good in this game, so it's not going to be a breeze for me to win. Alright, let's move these guys up. And let's have these guys make an attack. Have this artillery fire at these guys. There's a hit. And these guys will fire right here. Down he went. So that's basically how the battle basically plays out. You basically use your guys to try and make attacks. If you can, you want to flank them too, but that can be difficult. There's a hit on me. And notice that it's possible that you get multiple hits on like a target with like one guy, so that can sometimes happen. Let's go. Get with them. By the way, if infantry can sometimes run away, so they'll basically do that sometimes. It's a little bit annoying, but oh well. Have you fired air? You fired artillery that time at me. Let's move you over here. Go for another quad attack here. Should have saved a spot there so I can move that guy up. Could have taken this flank from this guy. Let's have one of these guys move. I guess I can't. You can't move when you got guys in front of you, I guess. Have them fired air. One of my guys fled. Alright, now I have a basic chance here to do a flanking attack. With flanking, you can basically go like this, and then like go like a double attack like this. And you basically have bonus to hitting these guys. You hit them from two different sides. Make him flee. Move you there. Let's have this guy fire here. Just in case, let's move this guy back so he doesn't get killed. Move you here. Do the same with you. There's my horse. You did flanking on me there at that time. Let's try and do the same to him. 1, 2. got here? 1, 2, 1, 2. There goes his horse. And move you back up there to basically protect my flank. Move you here. Let's move you up here, and we'll go for attack with you. And I actually have an attack left, but I can't do anything else because I moved all my guys, so we're done. There goes my horse again. Oh, that guy died. Fuck that, go! This guy fled. There's a miss, but oh well. Their cavalry died. Ouch. Move this guy up here. That guy actually ran away. I'm gonna move you back up here. There goes his cavalry. Now note that he's going to try and protect the square as much as possible at this point. So he's going to be a little more defensive. The damage. Hit him. Move this guy here. Move this guy back. Make them run away. Oh, I might have just lost. That basically lets them protect us, so he's just going to take it his turn. And a lot. But it was like a showcase of what the combat's like in this game.